The vibe coding tools just keep getting better and better. Today, we're going to be going through step by step and showing you how to make some beautiful looking web applications using Lovable. It's a great tool for creating both user interfaces, backend clients, database structures, authentication, and pretty much everything you would need for creating any sort of online web app. The goal for the end of this video is going to enable you to build some beautiful looking web apps simply using prompts. And ideally, you're going to be fully well versed without having to read the documentation and a little bit more comfortable with the user interface. So with that being said, let's start by building our design on Lovable. Building an application on Lovable is as simple as writing a few prompts. And if we scroll down here, we can see that in the community, there is much that's being created, from cryptocurrency trading dashboards to modern seaside stays. But the platform that we're going to make today is something that I like to do as a little bit of a joke. We're going to be building a platform training people to become forklift certified. So what I'm going to say here is I'm going to simply write landing page for a company training workers to become forklift certified. We're going to go ahead and hit submit right here. And as we can see here, right away, we're going to be thrown into the Lovable user interface. On the right here, it's going to talk about all the stuff that it's doing, instantly previewing our changes, setting our custom knowledge, connecting Supabase for backend, deploying when we're ready. These are all the things that we're going to be able to actually do. And as we can see here, the landing page for a company training to become forklift certified, we can actually see is being started right now. So Lovable says, hey, this sounds like a professional training company landing page. For the first version, I'm going to focus on a hero section, key benefits, course information, trust indicators, and a contact and enrollment section. It's going to begin writing benefits.tsx, which is our TypeScript file, which if we click on, we can see is being generated for us in real time. We can see here that it's already putting up all the mock data together and instantly choosing exactly what tech stack to write based on just what we're actually building here. So we can see here we have a few simple icons like the shield, the clock, the award, the users, and we have all of it being written. And we can see here that each of these act as a different individual page. We have the index.typescript, we have the hero.typescript, we have the benefits.typescript, the stats, and it just keeps going and going. It's even going as far to write out the course information for us, from basic forklift certification, that's 2 days and costs $300, to trainer certification, which takes 5 days and is $900. We have everything generated for us automatically here. As we can see now that it's done, it's saving the changes, and it's going to allow us to preview the latest code here. So it's now said, I've created a professional forklift training landing page with a modern design that emphasizes trust, safety, and career advancement. And there we go. Get forklift certified, start your career today. OSHA compliant, job placement assistance, flexible scheduling, and if we hover over here, we can see the call button and the enroll now. Why choose our training program? Choose your training program. Enroll now, most popular, ready to get started, and then we have the contact message automatically in here, along with a header and a footer. Great. The nice part about Lovable is that it actually allows you to continue to stack and build on because it provides you ideas for what you could build on based on what you've just built. In our case, we have our landing page here for getting forklift certified, but it's saying, what's next? We can refine and customize it, tweak the designs, animations, and layouts via prompts or visual edits. We can use the chat mode to plan out the project without making edits, using clear, detailed, and iterative prompts for the best results. Or we could transfer our project's code to GitHub for a two-way sync of edits. What does that actually mean? Well, it basically means that we have multiple different options for how we can continue to improve this platform, this web page, this landing page that we're currently building here. We can either open the preview in a new tab or hit this to refresh the page, or if we just want to hide the sidebar, just getting an idea what this web page would look like in full screen. We can see here that it's got all of this stuff here, and we can fill it in with all of our details here. Now that we have our default page, we can take it a step further. We can fill out all the information that is relevant to us, or automatically just paste a link into our company website. So I'm going to expand the sidebar again here, and I'm going to add to Lovable under Manage Knowledge. We're going to go ahead and put in, this is the URL we are using, and we'll add in that. We'll hit save, and so that will update our custom instructions, and we're going to say, based on this link, update the info on the page. This for you could also look like just simply putting all the information about your company, what sort of courses you offer, pretty much just giving Lovable at this point all of the actual real data. Right now, we just have a bunch of placeholder data on what the training program actually looks like, what the company name is, etc. But we could choose to manage the way that this site is laid out in any number of ways. We could tell it to simply swap different sections of text around. We could simply replace pieces of text if we wanted to, or if we actually wanted to connect this to a real live backend, all we would have to do is go to the Supabase icon right here, which looks like a little green lightning bolt, and hit Manage Supabase. In our case, we're going to be submitting the actual link for where we're going to pull some real world information from a local university. And so it's going to analyze the forklift training page and update the content to reflect their actual program details and information. In this case for you, if you already have a company website and you're either redesigning it or you have several documents that you may have all the information relevant in, you don't have to take that information out. You can just give Lovable the files, and Lovable will decide what information is most relevant on the website and where. As opposed to having to go through individually step by step and figure out where you want specific pieces of info, Lovable will just go through the entire process for you to actually build this out from scratch. And as we can see here, now that it's gone ahead and analyzed the actual page, it is rewriting the contract.typescript page to actually get all of the info out. So as we can see here, we have all the info being written out. It's actually putting in real world information about where the university is, what the specific contact information is, and it's rewriting everything from the footer to all of the stats. And the coolest part about all this is that obviously we're putting ourselves in the shoes of someone who doesn't have development experience. But if we are someone with development experience, we can go and edit all those files super easily. And there we go. The page has now updated with BCIT forklift training, industrial equipment operation, forklift certification. Why choose this? And we've got all of the relevant information here. We have the years of excellence, safe compliance, the expert instructors, and we have the official training program here, even with the button to register for the courses, with all of the actual real world data automatically on here, ready to get certified, contact, and then the actual relevant information here for the university. And at the bottom here, all this placed in. So in just a few seconds, we've built out a complete landing page from scratch using Lovable. But it goes a step further, because right now we can see that we have this tab up here called Code Viewer, where if we turn that on, we can start the live preview. And to actually use the code editor, we typically have to be on a paid plan. Because I'm using the free plan, we can see here that I can view all the code, but I can continue to prompt. But if you're on the actual paid plan, you could go through, download this whole thing, and make changes on the fly. We can see here that all of these files that typically you would have to build out from scratch yourself, from your components to your user interface, and we can see here that there's a lot of things that are in the user interface that have been created here, are automatically done for us. The benefits, the contact, the courses, the footer, all of that culminating in a simple full page that looks exactly like this. One of the cool things about Lovable 2 is that if the AI does something that was unexpected or you didn't want to have happen, it's very easy to simply roll back by scrolling up in the chat here, finding when a new change was made and saying restore, which will roll everything back to the way that the platform or website or landing page or whatever it is you happen to be building looked at that point in time. If we actually want to make a backend here, all we would have to do is hit this button that says Manage Supabase, and we would be able to connect Supabase backend, or we could hit this GitHub button, which would allow us to connect to GitHub, where we could actually make this project live and work on it outside of Lovable. Because that's the cool thing about a lot of these vibe coding platforms, is that not only do they make it easy to build the actual web pages in the actual browser and on the actual platform, but it's very easy to download the code and just be able to edit it as though it were a normal project that you yourself coded from scratch. Now, let's say that we're ready to publish. Well, all you would have to do is go to the top right corner where it says publish, hit publish your project, and we can see here that this is the link that would actually be created for us, or if we want to, we could add custom domains. But before we do that, we can actually hit this button here that says review security. And if we click that button here, we can see that Lovable is actually going to analyze the code base for security vulnerabilities. Lovable will look through all of the files and will analyze for any potential openings or weak spots where any hackers might be able to come in. We can see here that our landing page has very solid security with no critical vulnerabilities found. Fantastic. With that being said, I'm ready to hit publish here. And if I hit that publish button here, we can now see that we just shipped and we can share our work with the world here. So if I copy this link, open a new tab and paste it, we can see here that the whole page that we just generated in Lovable in just a few minutes is already here. We've got the complete page start to finish with all the information, all the relevant things from 2 simple prompts. All I did was write in a few simple things about what I was trying to create and provide some knowledge bases for it to pull the information from, and it was able to build a full landing page. And it goes much further. If I want to have motive power, if I want to have transportation programs, if I want to have all these other things, or a page where people can actually register, well, Lovable will handle all of that for me. All we have to do is simply go back to here and just keep typing on this. Now, they do give a limited number of free credits, but if you upgrade to their paid plan, you can definitely build this out to your heart's content and build something full out. As we can see here, if there's anything that we want to change, for example, let's say we wanted to make it so that we could actually see this call instead of having to hover over it, well, it's very easy to make those changes. And voila, in just under 15 minutes, you were able to completely build out a full landing page. And as I'm sure you could see, continuing to use the platform, you could build out pretty much any sort of web application that you want and make its front end look great, make its back end complex, and make everything run exactly as it should with just prompts, no coding required. It used to be that for no code tools, they would typically be drag and drop platforms, but not anymore. Prompt engineering, and specifically writing on no-code tools like Lovable, has made shipping things much quicker and much easier for people who especially don't know how to code. In just under 15 minutes, we were able to build a full landing page. It used to be that for no-code tools, most of them were just simply drag and drop clients, but not anymore. With prompt engineering and vibe coding becoming a wave of the future, we can see that this is going to be the next generation of building no-code platforms and being able to actually create full-scale web applications just by typing in a few simple prompts and having an interface that makes it easy for us to continue to build and expand our website. As always, I can't wait to see what you build. And hey, if you want to give Lovable a try for yourself, go ahead and click the link down in the description below and come and build a landing page like this or whatever you might want to build. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, my name is Josh Mountain, and I'll see you in the next one.